Should you use your RSP money to tackle your debt? I'm Doug Hoyes, a licensed insolvency trustee with Hoyes, Michaelis & Associates. You've got debt, and you've also got money in your registered retirement savings plan. Should you cash in your RRSP and use the money to pay down your debt? Let's crunch the numbers. When you take money out of your RRSP, you have to pay tax on the withdrawal. If you take out $5,000 or less, the bank will withhold 10% in tax. If you take out between $5,000 and $15,000, the withholding tax is 20% on the entire amount withdrawn, and if you take out over $15,000, they withhold 30% on the total withdrawal. So if you take $10,000 out of your RRSP, the bank or whoever holds your RRSP will withhold $2,000 in tax, and you'll only get $8,000 to use to pay down your debt. But it's worse than that. At the end of the year, when you file your taxes, you have to include in your income whatever you took out of your RRSP. A registered retirement savings plan is great because you get a tax break when you put the money in, but you pay tax on it when you take it out. So what happens if you are in the 40% tax bracket? Well, you took $10,000 out of your RRSP, so your income went up by $10,000, so you have to pay 40% of that in taxes. That's $4,000. But remember, the bank only withheld $2,000 when you got the money, so now you owe an extra $2,000 in taxes. That's a problem because if you use the $8,000 you got a few months ago when you cashed in your RRSP to pay off debt, you don't have an extra $2,000 sitting around today to pay your taxes. So if you do take money out of your RRSP, remember that the taxes you owe is not just what your bank or investment company withholds when you cash it in. You owe whatever gets calculated when you file your taxes. Taxes are one problem, but there's another issue. You put money in your RRSP to save for your retirement. If you cash it out, that money isn't there for your retirement, so you have to decide if it's worth it to take money today to pay off debt, but not have that money in the future for your retirement. So, what's my advice? Well, if you have lots of money in your RRSP and you really want to eliminate your debt immediately and you don't mind getting hit with a big tax bill when you file your taxes, then cashing in your RRSP to pay your debts is a viable option. But there is another option. You could file a consumer proposal. Under Canadian law, if you file bankruptcy, you get to keep your RRSP except for whatever you contributed to it in the last 12 months. In a consumer proposal, we offer your creditors a deal that is better than what they would expect to get in a bankruptcy. So you don't lose your RRSP in a bankruptcy, you don't have to cash it in and give that money to your creditors when you file a consumer proposal. Every situation is different, but it may be possible for us to make a deal with the people you owe money to where you pay back less than the full amount owing and keep your RRSP. I can't go through every aspect of the law in this short video, so if you have debt that you can't repay and you have an RRSP, I strongly recommend that before you make a decision on what to do, you contact a licensed insolvency trustee for a no-charge initial consultation. We can review your unique circumstances and give you custom advice because it may be possible to reduce your debt and keep your RRSP. To learn more, visit us at hoyes.com.